Hi, join me today. I'm going to do a quick little video on Railroad Pioneer. I've been reading through the forums and some people are confused as to how to do things. I'm going to play in the single mission 5 stage rise. The objective of this is to basically make every city under my control. And we start here with a freight train, 2 cold cars and 2 passenger cars. And we have 1 building lot, and our city wants wool and tobacco. So I have played this 1,000 times and I know exactly where the tobacco plantation is, so complain if you want, but it's right here. Like you can see it on the bottom of the screen. Little cheat you can use there. The tooltip will still tell you where things are despite it being undiscovered. There's also a farm up here somewhere, another tobacco plantation there if you can read the thing at the bottom. The only problem is we have 2 cold cars and the tobacco plantation will not produce enough for us to sustain a trade route with using cold cars. Tobacco is in express class goods, so the way you can sort of figure that out is the passengers here have a red outline around the box. That means express. Blue means freight, and a yellowy orange one is kind of like neither. So what I'm getting at here is when you set up a trade route, if you use a locomotive that's still with the same class as the goods, you'll get bonuses to your income. But since we're using a freight train, and this will be an express route, then there's not really any bonuses to it, so use the prospector on that guy to go ahead and do that. That'll build and we can start making a little bit of money, and I'm going to send my Anaconda troop up here to I always used to call that Brainfield. Oh, fuck it, it's Brainfield. Ugh, I hate words. So I'm just waiting on this station to be built now, and then might as well set the train up ready. Why does it not appear until... Oh, yeah, that's one thing to watch out for. We have these guys here. The gunslinger is something you will need. I'm hoping that the evil part of it is not directly ahead, else I'm going to lose my troop. You go to the tobacco plantation. And there we go, there's our train departing from the station now. Really want to keep my eye on these guys just in case the center of this cluster of gunslinger territory is like right here. Well, how's this doing? We have 2. We can send that back to however pronounce our starting city. And then they're moving more slowly. Anyway, wouldn't be such a big problem if I did lose them, because I can now upgrade my Geographer's District, which is something I usually always do at the start of the game, but because this particular mission I start with... Yes, bonus point. Be cheaper to run. Because this particular mission I start with a little amount of money, only 15,000 compared to like 30 or 50,000 that some missions give you. I didn't do that because it would cost me a lot to just upgrade the thing, but now I have upgraded it. I can indeed... I don't want to buy the locations things, I can upgrade the exploration time and everything. Another irritating thing about this particular mission is I don't have research or engineering capabilities in my starting town. So the only way I can get around that is, well, Brainfield over here. They have exactly what I need. They have both the Engineers District and the researching, I think. Anyway, I'm just going to pause it here until Anaconda Troop get there. There we go, Brainfield. Pronounced horribly wrong because I'm a spoon and I can't pronounce it properly. Ah, yeah, here. We have water on this map, which is one of the challenges of this particular mission is, well, it's called Stay Dry. I'm pretty sure anyone with the a common sense of common sense will be able to figure out that it's got something to do with water in it. So yeah, you can see water there. It's a pretty big river there. I just need to wait for this to have two. I could just send one cold car back, but I'm waiting for the two. I also want to explore this because I'm going to have to build a track here eventually that allows me to get across this water. So I will be back in a quick moment until Anaconda has explored this. Alright, what we have here, there's a random event on my tobacco plantation. And he's cut production for 15 days by 25%. Anyway, I have the two tobacco that I need here. Load those up, go back to Roseview and get the passengers and come back to the tobacco plantation. Can't set that as an auto trader up because tobacco plantation will not have produced enough produce by the time I get back. What I've got here in Badger Troop is a gunslinger with the hopes that he will reveal where this guy is and I can go and remove them, but it doesn't look like he will. Gonna have to connect these two troops together. I'm going to drag the Pioneer into Badger because what I did off screen was I upgraded the Geographer's District to have maximum exploration time. So that means these guys will now explore a lot quicker. Hopefully. Unless it only applies to the gunslinger, which would be kind of annoying. Nope, that's definitely quicker. So while they're doing that, I'm just going to wait until I get the alert, else it will interrupt what I'm doing. Yeah, the epicenter. What happens with those is the big red exclamation point one in the middle will absolutely annihilate anything that goes near it, be it troops or trains. So if I'd have laid my tracks through the alerts, there would have been a chance that my train would have been ambushed, robbed, derailed, damaged. It could have cost me like a lot. It would have taken the payload and everything. If I go through the center one, the red exclamation point, anything that goes near that just dies. So troops that don't have a gunslinger will just die. And trains will be completely destroyed, which is a real pain. Now what I'm doing here is track laying. You'll notice there are four directions I can build in from the current position, and a 0 meters and a cost. The 0 meters is the elevation from the current position, and the green hill icon is how good or bad that's going to be, and the cost obviously increases for what type of terrain. So I want to curve it to the right here and go this way, and it's still on 0 meters, but then it starts to go up a bit. Now I could ideally go to the right and build on the 0 meters, but I just think that would look a bit odd, so I'm going to build straight through, and you see it goes up to 26, then up to 60, then to 55, then to 18, and then back to 0 again, so there's a small incline there. Then what I can do is I can build my station here, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to build it nice and tucked in next to the engineering district. I'm just going to explore out this chunk of land here. And I will now have connection to another city, and I'll actually be able to build something. And another thing I will point out is you can upgrade these as well. Your product buildings, you can upgrade houses, you can upgrade everything. Apparently I can't upgrade the marketplace. Right, you can't upgrade the marketplace, everything else you can upgrade. Town Hall, the upgrades the bonuses. So if an opponent starts a trade war, you can pay money to put an obstacle on his tracks or whatever, and there's a chance he'll discover it and it'll go bust or something, and you'll be fined or something like that. I don't really use them because it very rarely works. With the houses, if you have a passenger train, the cost will go down the more you trade. So at the moment, pardon me, my tobacco plantation will cost 16 to upgrade, but if I trade with it, it'll go down, and the more I trade, the more of these little blue trade points I'll get, which you use to upgrade things. So I'm just waiting, there we go. Send it back to Rosio again, and back to the tobacco plantation. One thing to point out with the marketplace, you'll notice I have 8 cars of tobacco. When that number reaches 20, I believe it is, it will build a factory for cigars on a building lot. It would have built anything from a textile factory because it wanted wool, so it would have built either of them. But I have been delivering tobacco. Ooh, what's this? Submission. Find and establish a link to the gold digger camp. Supposedly there is a well-hidden gold digger camp. Right. I know where this is because I've played this game quite a bit, but that's basically saying there's gold out there, go and find it, it's very valuable. It is in fact somewhere up over in this corner. And I will go and find that another time. I'll send to my screen on the minimap. Right, I have now been linked to Brainfield, and I can look at my research, and I actually have a lot of the research. I can build quite a few of the late game locomotives. It's just the last couple that I don't have access to. And with the addition that I have Brainfield, I could, if I have the money, build a express locomotive. For example, I could build the Columbia or the 10-wheeler. My personal favourite is to build the 10-wheeler because it has the 2000 horsepower, which is very good and it's very cheap to run. The Columbia, I don't really know why you would build it because it's not as fast. It's not as powerful and it's really expensive. I suppose the only bonus is that's 7,500, the 10-wheeler is 30,000. It's a bit of a... that's going to cost you a lot now, that's going to cost you a lot in the long run. Although again you can upgrade this thing, so you can upgrade it so they will have bonuses to operating cost, speed, tractive power, whichever one you want. The little green dollar thing means there's a little mission, but I'm not going to get that in time because this thing is so slow. Oh, and this place has a textile factory, so if I could find a sheep farm, I can deliver textiles to Brainfield and they will make clothes. And if I recall correctly, the only place where I can get textiles is over the river, so I would have to build a bridge, and I don't know if I could loop it around like this. I'll have to buy myself a raftsman. Oh! Little blue question marks is free money. We'll find a little random event that'll give you some money. 3.5 grand. That has just covered the cost of my raftsman and given me some more money. I'm going to put him on Badger Squad because the Pioneer is the only unit that can remove the fog. Still waiting for some tobacco. They want passengers over in Brentford. That's quite a lot of money for some passengers. It'll take me like half of that to get there and then the other half to get there. Because the Geared is a slow train. It does 20 miles an hour, so it's not that bad, but still. Can send Badger Squad over here. That'll get me the sheep farm, which is there. Then what I can do is, my plan is to build 2 more locomotives in the long run. One will run passengers between these two, and luxury goods when I get the cigar factory, and that'll run those two. Can load the Geared up again and go to Roseview and then load up with people and go back to the tobacco plantation yet again. We are somehow on a 0.9. I don't know how I've managed that. I might have sent it back with only 1.9 on the load instead of 2. I'm not sure. Now that's made me a profit of 50,000 so far, and I can now research an upgrade which will be very beneficial for the locomotive. Yeah. And there is Sheep Farm 1. Yeah, the research upgrades for your locomotives will give you bonuses, like it'll make them deteriorate slower, because over time, one thing I forgot to mention was maintaining the locomotive. I can't do it while it's in the station, but you have to maintain the locomotive, else it'll deteriorate and fall apart. Kind of crucial to the survival of the train, which is probably getting close for due a maintenance check. And that's my opponent. He's actually been rather busy. Let's see how he's doing. Wow, he's doing pretty well. I'm worried he's going to beat me to Slayton over here. That's going to be a pretty important point of trade for me. Let's get rid of some more of this fog down there. Apologies if you can hear me drinking, I do have tea. So my question was could I loop a track down here and bridge across here and still manage to get a track around the sheep farm? Or do I have to just build a track out there? Was my question. Because I can do it this way, it's just going to cost me an arm and a leg to build anything. I mean, that is quite expensive. 40,000 for a bridge and a station. I mean, I can understand it's a bridge. Might do... I'll build the switch track, because they're quite expensive switch tracks for some reason, and then I'll stick a signal here. Signal's going to be useful when I've got multiple trains running backwards and forwards, because otherwise I'll have to stop in the station until the train has cleared the track, so they will move out to these signals and wait for the track to be clear. And I'm just going to drop a little pause here until something substantial happens, so you're not just watching me explore the map with Badger Squad. I'll be back right in a minute.